What the fuck is up, people? AKA myself. I haven't decided if I'm ever going to post these or just keep these to myself to show my future kids how much of a fucking insane person I was. But mainly this is for the purpose of my mental health. I feel like throughout the day, I'm a self-diagnosed ADHD, which basically means that I have no fucking idea what I'm doing and I just need an excuse for the way that I think. And what that entails is me kind of every single car ride just going through a million topics in my head of things that are going on in my day, me like fantasizing or imagining being millionaire, just casual shit that we all do, the stupid shit that we do. And, maybe in the future, if I do end up posting this or if I do end up making something out of this, I'd get some higher quality equipment. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to lead, but I think this is a good first step to not be fucking insane. So yeah, here we go. Mainly, I have about a 25-minute drive to work every single day. And that depends on where I'm going, if I'm going home afterwards. But mainly it's about 25 minutes home, 25 minutes to work. And throughout that time, I just fucking, man, my mind will go from rainbows to Hades in less than 5 seconds, and it gets pretty dark, but at the same time I feel like I come up with a lot of great concepts of my life, and a lot of good epiphanies have happened in this vehicle, and then sometimes you'll hear me running the car. Right now I'm actually in the parking lot of my job. For anybody in this world who even gives a shit or doesn't know me, that might be listening this, maybe your friend told you that this crazy bitch started a Karcast and thought she was cool, so you're just coming here to roast me. Either way, my name is Karla, and I am a makeup artist, aka counter manager at a cosmetic counter in a department store, which by the way is pretty weird. I gotta say so myself. It's not the fact that being a makeup artist is weird, and I always thought it was a make-believe career because when I was a little girl, I used to love makeup, and I used to love playing with it, and I remember telling myself, I want to be a makeup artist, and then I got older and realized it's not that easy. There's no money in it, and yeah, fuck that. I want to actually put food on my table and have my own place. So I decided to go the more business technical route, and that worked out for a very long time until I felt like it just wasn't for me anymore. And honestly, it wasn't the job. It was more me than anything. It was my mental state. I got super stressed, super depressed, and, all the shit millennials do. So I ended up having a career change, and this is where it's taken me. And it's actually pretty cool, in my opinion. I mean, being able to have something that was a childhood dream of mine come true, it's kind of weird, to be quite honest, but yeah, I'm just sitting here, and my day by day is pretty weird. It's mainly the only thing that I see is, I used to think growing up that a makeup artist was somebody who just like had a bunch of people come up every single day, packed schedule, people in their chair constantly, and it was something that came natural, and you just are kind of putting your technical skill to work, but you don't really think about the little shit, man. It's the fucking little shit. I mean, I feel like that's with any career, though, to be quite honest. So, I mean, some people probably grew up thinking, hey, I want to be a doctor. And then they grew up and realized, fuck, I have to go through like fucking 20 years of schooling just to finish this. And I know it's not 20 years, but it fucking feels like it. You have to really put in a lot of effort to go into the medical field with Obviously, that's a great thing. You don't want somebody who's a fucking tool bag working on you who didn't, flunk through fucking school to be your practitioner. But either way, I feel like, expectations as a kid versus what they really are kind of fucking depressing. Growing up, I thought that being a makeup artist was just so much more easier, and now it's so. And it may be, I don't speak for every single makeup career. I don't know about every counter, every line. Every cosmetic place does it differently, but the one that I work for, and which of course I'm not going to mention the name, but just in case, you never know. A bitch not trying to get sued. I barely have enough money to pay for my phone bill. But how much more commercialized and retailed it is, and retail oriented, and it just really sucks the fucking fun out of it all, to be honest with you. I mean, instead of coming in and just like being happy for making someone feel beautiful, or being happy for helping someone look younger, or just so much things that you know, the good things that you do day by day. It's more of like, how much is this person going to provide for me? How much are they going to buy? You know, are they going to come back? And that's probably the shittiest part about my job and my spot, especially as a counter manager, because I'm kind of just sitting there and I have to make sure that the money's being made, and at the same time it kind of just shit on my childhood, this job. I like it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do like it. I'm not gonna say that I like absolutely hate my job. No way. You know, there's a lot of great things to it, and I mean, it's like any other job. You're never going to have a job you're 100% okay with. And if you do, congratulations. Stick with it. If you fuck it up, you're a dumbass. But I think every career has their negative, whether it's the people you work with, or the goals that you have to meet, or if it's, you know, just it's a matter of things. Clients could be one thing. I know a lot of tattoo artists, you know, have to deal with shitty ass clients. So it's weird, you know, it's a weird spot, but brings me back to, you know, what I wanted to do. You know, I just see a lot of people every single day, new personalities. I hear crazy stories. You know, stuff happens at work, or just anything in my day by day, because I am a millennial, and at the end of the day, I do want to hold a full-time job. I do want to be able to pay my bills, but I also want to be able to enjoy my 20-somethings. And that's the biggest advice I could give anyone who listens to my piece of shit ass, is to take a fucking breath, man. I mean, it's not that fucking serious half of the time, and I know it's easier said than done, mostly because we're just living such a stressed out generation where everything stresses us the fuck out. Like it just puts a weight on our shoulders. We have, you know, the economy, we have the political side of it, and then not only that, but you know, you have little shit that goes on, the weather, and there's just a lot of shit to stress about. So trust me, there's no shortage of things to fucking rack your brain over, but it's definitely important to really try your best to kind of make do with what you have in the situations that you are thrown. And if you can't do that, then shit, man, you must be really fucking miserable. I don't know what else to tell you. It's just what it is. So I kind of want these podcasts, like I said, to be kind of more me rambling, but if anybody knows me well, one of the things that I can't do is keep up with the fucking story. I will forget in the middle of the story. I'm not good at keeping up, because I'm the kind of person that, while in the midst of telling one, I will think of 20 different plot details that I, in my brain, think it's important for you to know in order for you to piece this entire story together. And I've been told I'm a good storyteller, but I'm also been told I'm a shitty storyteller. So, hey, you take that as it is. I do want to highlight topics, though. I definitely don't want to, like, ramble about stupid shit and you're just like, whoa, where do I follow this? Like, what do I even do with this information? But, you know, I want to have some sort of rhythm. So today's podcast, I really want to focus on just, like, little things at work, or just work in general, like my day-to-day, as in what boggles my mind around the things that I deal with. And this episode is not going to touch on any clients or anything like that in specifics. It's more of like a general statement of why do people do the shit they do? And I don't think that's something anybody will ever be able to understand. And I don't know if I'm the only one. Obviously, that's a stupid ass statement. I know I'm not the only one. But I don't know if what it is about me recently starting to discover how stupid people are. And then not in like, oh, you're uneducated and you don't know big words or you don't know this and this. It's not that kind of stupid. It's more of like street smart stupidness that I kind of deal with day to day. It's kind of where you're just like, how do you not read the room? How do you not see what's going on or what's happening? I mean, it's just one of the biggest things for me is work ethic. And I think that's something that I've had instilled in me for a very long time. And I am Honduran. My parents are from Honduras. I am an American, born and raised America. Fuck yeah. But, I was raised under the, Honduran, or should I say Spanish traditions of, your work is what makes you. It makes or breaks you. Of course, it's the one that provides food for your family. It's the one that keeps you entertained, keeps new people in your life. And it's just, it's the majority of your entire existence in reality. You don't retire until way later on down the road, and by then you're old and dusty and crusty, so it's not like you really can enjoy your life. So that's why work is so important to me, honestly. That's what I've always been raised to think. And I'm just now realizing, and in my last job, I'm not gonna lie, it was like there wasn't much high-end clientele, let's just put it that way. So I didn't really get to experience what it's like to work with people that are, and I hate to use this word, but like privileged, I guess I would say. Because in my old job, I had a lot of people that were just like me who, grew up with the same values, and if they didn't grow up, they were let go quite quickly, honestly. But here, this company I work for, it's a lot more, there's words I can use to describe it, but I choose not to. The point is, you don't realize how little people in the world truly have work ethic until you work with people, or peoples, plural, not singular at this point, that just don't give a damn. I mean, that couldn't give less of a damn. It boggles me. I'm confused. I don't know. I don't even know I can't even bring the words up to understand my feelings towards these kind of people, because it's just like, why bite the hand that feeds you? And it'd be different if you were getting mistreated by a company, if, you were getting screwed over in hours, if people were being unfair. And of course, every company has their own fairness to a degree. So you kind of have to be able to not only, be able to work with a respect for the company that you work for, but also have some sort of understanding for how businesses and corporations work. And of course, not everyone has that background. Not everyone has seen the other side of the table and kind of being able to say, hey, you know what? I understand why you're doing this, why this makes you more money, why, you need me at this time, and I guess they can't really, you really can't understand until you've been through it. So I get that point of it, but it's like, it's the things that you don't even have to have any business insight to kind of have common sense for, like showing up to your shift. Like, that boggles me. Just not coming into work because you just don't feel like it. I don't know. I guess, like I said, everybody's different. So maybe I'm just like the only one who thinks this is fucking bizarre. But I think it's a fucking bizarre because I bust my ass every day. And of course, everyone should be able to say that. If you go to work, if you clock in, you go all the way to your fucking job and you clock in, and you go in with the expectation that you're not going to give it your 100%, or you're going to fuck around and not do your job and, fuck over your manager and whatever, then like, why? Like, what the fuck? You have to be able to just like look at yourself for a second and just say, where did my parents go wrong? And I know that sounds harsh. I know it does. But it's like, come on, guys. You have to have more fucking common sense. And like, it will take you nowhere. Like, nowhere at all if you are like this. Like, if you're the kind of person that's like, fuck this company, like, me. And of course, like, there's a line in the sand you also have to draw. That's the gray area that I don't think a lot of people understand, where you have to be able to respect the company you work for, but you also have to be able to make sure that company respects you in the same sense. You can't let a company kind of use and abuse you, because they will. They absolutely will. If you're the kind of person that's a go-getter, you know, you're going to work everybody's shift that they ask you to, you're going to clean everybody's mess up, even without them asking to, people will get used to that. And it's nobody's fault but your own. And I learned that the hardest way possible, by me, you know, taking over everything and then thinking I'm doing good, and then people are just getting used to it and acostumbrado, and then just being like, yep, like, Karla's gonna do it, like, don't worry, like, Karla will take care of it. And it's like, what the fuck? What was the fuck? Like, you know, then it will become an issue, because, you know, you get busy and then they expect that thing out of you, and you're just like, no, that was out of the kindness of my heart. But that's not their fault. It's my fault for letting them make that expectation of me, and letting them think that that's all that that falls on my responsibility now, because of the fact that I've been doing it. So of course you shouldn't allow a company to use and abuse you whenever you need to, but you have to be able to rationally take a step back and say, hey, is this in my better interest? And does the company think this is in my better interest? Because if they're like doing things knowing they're screwing you over, then that's a problem. And ask, like, come on now, especially if you work in a business, or, you know, a store or whatever that has a lot of employees, or like a decent amount of employees that have been there for more than a few years. Like, why not ask people, you know, ask around, say, hey, you know, how does this usually work? What are the policies for this? Read your fucking handbook, people. Hey, I know I'm like the only fucking nerd on the internet that reads the company handbook without being prompted to, but that's how a company will fuck you over, is they'll put shit in the handbook and expect you not to read it, and then they'll sit there and they'll tell you, oh, you only get this many paid holidays, or, oh, you could only get this amount of hours. No, like, correction, you will not outsmart me. Like, this is what the handbook says. And of course, I've never been faced with that problem, just to be clear. I've never had to, like, fucking fact check my company, thankfully. But like, it's just, I don't, you know, it's something as simple as reading your handbook. Know the company you're working for. I mean, put some fucking effort into it. I mean, I don't understand how people come into work and work 40 fucking hours with a company they don't even give two shits about. And I get if you work like at, you know, McDonald's, and I'm not trying to clown anybody who works at McDonald's. Don't think of it like that. But it's kind of like, you know, I get that kind of work where you don't have a goal to meet. You just have to, like, produce as a service, and, you know, you just have to kind of just do your job. But for people who work, you know, on commission, or work with goals in mind, or work with a certain, like, level of speed, like, even fast food fucking does that. Fuck out of here. My, like, first couple jobs were fast food, and first of all, the one fast food place that I worked at, we had time drive-thrus. And of course, none of us fuckheads even paid attention to it, and we would just keep it moving, and we would go at our own pace. But there's still, like, time limits, and they're put in place for a reason. Especially for companies that have been here for a while, who have history, who've been here for 75 plus fucking years. Like, they obviously are doing that structure for a reason. They've tested it. It's, like, true and tested. They know that it works. And, you know, why go above that? Unless it's making your job easier in a productive way, then that's the only reason that I would think of people who don't want to, like, you know, follow the way it's already set for them. They rather just half-ass it and make up their own kind of way. And it's just, fucking dumb, you know, to be honest with you. And then that's one of the things that I kind of, with this new company, that I've had to try to get used to, was working with so many people that just, like, refuse to be anything less than subpar. But there's so many people out there like that. Like, not just the people I work with, you know, it's just so many fucking people out there in this world that are like that. And it's like, be fucking better. Come on. And it's always the people who have no fucking kids. I know that's crazy. And I have no kids. So please don't come for me. But it's always the fucking people who have no kids and have no sense of like ownership and no sense of responsibility. And I guess that's the problem. If your parents didn't teach you, then you're going to have to learn as a parent to become responsible. Unless, there's always the exceptions of people who just grow up and they don't need a parent, they don't need a kid, they don't need anything. They'll just be responsible on their own. Thankfully, I had my parents. My parents definitely, more than my mom, of course, but, my mom definitely instilled, morals and work ethic and values and all that good shit that makes you a good person, not because somebody in the sky told you to, but because you're just not a piece of shit. It's that simple, guys. Just don't be a piece of shit. That's all I gotta ask. And it's just, it takes a while to get used to, but this new job is treating me right, man. It's doing a lot of good. It's actually pretty funny, working with the people that I work with. I have so many good souls here. I'm clicking with so many people, and I just think it's so funny how people can like be one thing when you first meet them, and then whenever you get to know them, you're just like, whoa, how dare I? How dare I judge you? And I don't give a fuck what no one says. Everyone judges the book by its cover. It's just what we do. It's human nature, and there's nothing we can do to get to stop. And whether you do it in your head and not vocalize it, that's up to you. But if you say, I have never judged a book by its cover, you're a motherfucking lie. And we both know it. There's nobody in this fucking world could say that. Because we do. Whether it's, even like a homeless person on the side of the fucking road. Like, when we look at them, you don't think, oh, that's just a guy. No, absolutely not. You recognize that person is homeless, whether they have a sign up or not. Like, you make assumptions in your head on what that person is, what their life story is, and whether you go in depth about it, that's, different. I go in depth because I'm fucking insane. But we make assumptions, and it's crazy how you meet people and then it goes vice versa. You can either you meet someone and you absolutely fucking hate them and then get to know them and then you absolutely like them, or you can meet someone and you click with them from you don't click with them from the get-go, and then they just turn out to be a lot better, just a lot more fun, a lot more laid back than they are at work. And I feel like that's what happens to me more than anything. Like, other people do that to me a lot, where I get the comment like, oh my God, you're like so much cooler than I thought you were when I first met you. First of all, fuck you. Like, I'm fucking cool. I don't need you don't need to get to know me, bitch. I'm cool. Anyway. But, they'll say shit like that, and it makes me think, because when I'm at work, I'm very polished, I'm very professional, and my mannerisms are very, respectful from the very get-go. So whenever I speak to people, when I smile at people, I smile at every single person that walks by me, whether it's a customer or whether it's an employee. I always give them my greatest smile, and I always say, hey, how you doing? I turn on, by the way, I have like two voices. I have the hood bitch Karla, I have just regular Karla, which is, I think this is regular Karla that you're listening to right now. Or I have like my retail, like, hi, how you doing? High pitched voice. Oh my God, I'm fucking cringing right now. I'm listening to myself. But anyway, I have a persona that I put on, and I feel like any person that's fucking really good at retail has it. And, if you don't, you're probably not as successful in the retail world. My fucking manager is driving by right now. Car vlogs. Anyway, and I have, this shield that I put up, and that's, it's natural. And you don't want to give yourself to anyone by, you don't want to give all of yourself to someone, because then that gives people room to, fuck with you and tell management things that they don't need to know. But I come off as super posh and kind of stuck up in the very beginning. And it's not really more stuck up. It's just more of like, I have no interest in the words that are coming out of your mouth. And half of the time it's true, but most of the time it's not. And then, people will hear me like speak to other people that I'm really close to in front of them. And then they're just blown away. And I don't get it. Why be so obvious about judging people? It's kind of crazy how we do that. do those things and then expect for everyone not to be a judge-free zone. Fuck out of here. There's never been a judge-free zone. Ever. There's no way you can do that. But I have met some really cool people here, man. Like, I gotta say. I've met some people that are going to be lifetime friends. And if you don't, I think that's the biggest thing about work. There's 3 things that make a job, like a job that you want to stay. And that's, first thing is financial, of course. You have to make sure you make some money. You got to make enough money to provide for your family. The second one is going to be the people that you work with, which of course is like coworkers and, all that. And then second is the management's way of controlling things, like your stress level with management. And this doesn't mean like you don't like this person. Like, I don't like this fucking bitch. No, it's not that. It's more of like, are my managers taking care of my needs? Are they teaching me my needs? Are they teaching me the things that I need to do? Are they coaching me in the right way? Are they making me a better employee / manager / whatever the fuck you are? And are they controlling my environment to where I'm not being stressed out unnecessarily? As in, there's like a scheduling mishap on one end of the store, and then now you are having to be pulled left and right. And that to me is like a management issue, because obviously they're in charge of scheduling. Now, of course, if someone calls out, that's completely different. But those 3 things to me can make or break a position. Because at the end of the day, in my last job, I will say I had the financial 100%, and I had the coworkers. Like, my coworkers were super fucking cool. I loved them to death. So, and I felt like I was a big part of the family, and that's really what kept me there for so long. And the only thing that was falling for me was the management. And it wasn't the management as in like it was a shitty company to work for, but it was just, it was just too stressful. And I wouldn't even say that was directly the manager's fault. It was just the way the business was going. And it was too fucking much, man. That's all I got to say about that. And then I feel like with this job, once again, I really love my coworkers. My management could be better. I got to say that, but it's not bad. Like, at all. My stress levels are not bad. I'm not stressed the fuck out. I'm not pulling my hair out. I literally have enough time to sit here for 27 fucking minutes and 27 seconds to talk to you on my lunch break, because I actually have an hour lunch break at this place. So, of course, I have to say I'm not stressed out. So, I feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, my coworkers are a 9 here at this new job. My stress level is like at a 7. Not even that. I would say 6, to be honest with you. And then financially, I'm there. I'm getting there. And that's good enough for me. I'm really fucking happy right now. So, you got to take it day by day. I wouldn't be able to say the same thing a couple years ago, which, like I said, doesn't have to do with much but myself, my mental, when you get depressed, man, fucking A, your mind will take you to some places. And it's not just like dark. I wasn't fucking like sitting there fucking thinking about killing myself or anything like that is what I'm talking about. But it's more of like, I was internally sabotaging myself. Self-sabotage is the best way to put it. Kind of going in and convincing myself that I wasn't good at this, good at that, or I wasn't doing this right. And self-doubt is probably the biggest fucking thing. Like, the biggest fucking con of being depressed. Because self-doubt, man, it could do some fucking damage. It could really fuck up not just like your friendships, because self-doubt really, to me, makes me push people away. That's 1. 2, self-doubt fucks with my work, like, completely, because I'm constantly overthinking things, which means I'm overstressing myself. Like, that's why I say that it wasn't my management that really was fucking me over at my last company. It was more of myself and my mind that kept screwing with me, and I would like literally spend like fucking an hour on one thing just because my mind was telling me that it was not okay. And I really wish they understood more of my mental illness more than anything. But you can't expect a fucking company to do that for you. So I have nothing but respect for them. And then, the self-doubt is just, it just affects you in so many ways. And, financially it affects you because you're sitting there like, oh, am I going to get by? And then the whole time you're just like, well, yeah, like you absolutely can get by. You just have to do this, and this. Like, when you have a clear mind, you could figure out anything. We could figure out anything when we have a clear mind. But when we have anything clouding our shit, man, it'll fuck you up. And the biggest problem with being depressed is being poor and depressed. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's for real. I mean, at the time I didn't have health insurance and I wasn't at a place that I could truly afford it. And it wasn't that I was fucking broke. That's the sad thing, guys. I was not broke. I just had my priorities all fucked up. So instead of going to the doctor and paying the premiums for it, I chose to just deal with my own depression, which is a very mom thing for me to do, as in my mother. My mother is completely does not believe in mental illness, as in, not that it doesn't exist, but she just thinks that people that have mental illness, can just turn it on and off. So, bless her heart, and then I can say about that. But so I didn't have much support at home when it came to that. So I didn't have someone I could go to talk to, and dealing with something that big alone just could fuck with you, man. It really did. It fucked with me for so long. But I'm glad I'm out of that state, man. Now I'm all about enjoying my 20-somethings and not holding back. Like, I don't want to move. I don't want to grow up fast. I don't want to grow up. That's the thing. I see older people that are just, living in their past. And I don't want to live in my past. I don't want to do that. I want to, live for the now. I don't want to think in 20 years like, shit, I should have done that. No, I want to do it. I'm fucking young. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do the things that I want to do. Quite honestly. Unless it's like a weird ass bucket list item that I have. Like fucking meeting some bullshit ass celebrity. Never mind. That's not even a fucking bucket list item. I don't really give a shit about celebrities. I don't really want to meet anybody. I think everyone's fucked up. So I don't really give a fuck about, the whole glorifying meeting a celebrity type thing. I'd rather just listen to them. They always say, never meet your heroes. They'll always disappoint. But it's kind of like, I don't know. Now I'm rambling. You see? This is what happens when I'm just fucking sitting here. I just ramble. I'm literally in my car still. And I've had 4 people just walk by, and there's a guy parked 2 fucking spots next to me with a group full of guys, just kind of looking over what the fuck is this girl doing? They'll be all right. Well, I think I'm going to end it here. I honestly I only wanted to make these about 30 minutes. I don't want them to be super long and an hour or more. I just want them to be short, sweet, to the point, and just kind of a log of what the fuck is going through my mind right now. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about mental health and making sure that you are living in the now. What the fuck is going on? There's this fucking guy with camo pants that is just trucking. He's just walking and with a red hat, and he's putting, how when you put your hand above your shield your eyes for the sun, but the problem is there is no sun. He's doing this in the shade. Anyway, so I just want to make these kind of short and sweet and to the point, and just kind of get my brain, my brain emptying out my brain, really. Putting the thoughts into audio. Just a bunch of bullshit, to be honest. Just, hey. And you know what? If you like it, you don't, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Like I said, this is really mainly for me. And this is, also a really great way to keep up with what the fuck is going on in my life. The only problem is I really don't have much exciting shit other than parties and funny stories. And oh my God, he's getting closer. Yeah. So, I'm going to go fucking get murdered now. Thank you. Have a great rest of your Thursday. By the time I post this, it'll probably be 4 Thursdays ago. So, Love you guys. Peace and blessings be with you. Bye-bye.